What's going on, guys? Sean Don coming back at you. Technical analysis. Here we have Mario, the Maltese record holder. That's right, he's from Malta, over in Europe. Honestly, not sure where it's at, but he's a hammer thrower, and he holds the record for Malta. So yeah, self-admitted by him. He said his technique was not great. And there it is. To which I would say I've definitely seen worse. You can see you look like a pretty powerful guy, so there's definitely room for improvement. And that's all throwing really is I really haven't gotten much stronger over the 7 years I've been throwing. I've just gotten much more efficient with my technique. So plenty of room to grow, Mario. So let's break it down. So through the winds, you look pretty balanced. The winds look good. Well, then you can see here, your whole left side kind of starts to lead the throw. And overall, that seems to be the theme. You can see, so that right elbow drops and kind of pulls down. Left shoulder's a little bit higher than the right. And then your head starts to lead. Pardon me. And you can see your right foot really does nothing while your left foot is turning ahead of the ball. There's a big separation between your left side and your right side rather than working together as one. So definitely right off the entry, try to flatten out the entry. So think about pushing the ball straight across. Get that right elbow a little bit higher in that catch. So like rather than bring it here and then pull it down like you currently do, catch it high and then push that ball straight across. Don't let that elbow drop so much. That'll help flatten it out a little bit. And then besides that, just think about really, really staying patient in this part of the throw right through here, right through from 270 to 90 on that very first turn. That'll change your entire throw. If you can just think about pushing the ball out in front of you, literally almost letting the ball take you around. So like as it comes through right here, hold that left side where it is, hold that head where it is, find yourself a focal point, maybe somewhere just off to the right a little bit, and then just think about letting the ball pass and pass and pass and pass and pass, and then you really shouldn't think about moving. Your lower body will move a little bit, but you really don't want to think about moving your upper body at all until the ball gets at least past here, and then you should feel the ball almost pull you around to 180. So besides that, you see there's a little shift back through the hips, through the entry. Not a huge deal. I would say that's your biggest problem. Right now, I'd definitely say your biggest problem is you just need to relax your arms. And I know that sounds very counterintuitive because you want to try to work harder and throw farther. But hammer's one of the things where you need to relax more to let the ball do more of the work, whereas you can see you're very tense through these arms, especially in this right arm. It's bent when it needs to be straight. I recommend using some sort of spray adhesive or tacky or pine tar, I don't know, whatever you can get your hands on to put on the backside of your glove and the inside of your right hand, and that'll help you relax a little bit more. It's not a foolproof solution. I know people who've used it and it still does nothing for them because they're just so tense and tight all the time. But for me, it makes a huge difference. So maybe it's something to give a shot. But yeah, so you can see as we come through here, your left side's way ahead, and then eventually your left side has to stop for your right side to kind of catch up and come around. And you can see, so here, this is a big thing. So like I said, in the entry, you want to relax and let the ball pull you around and forward to the sector. So that's, what we call 180, 0, 90, and 270 off to the left of the screen. So you want that ball to pull you forward towards 180, and you want all your energy and force directed towards 180. I've explained before in some of my vlogs and throwing videos that the hammer is a pendulum. So you need that sort of impulse forwards to, I guess it's a result of doing the pendulum properly. But what definitely helps you feel that pendulum is stepping forward towards 180. So whereas you left side comes around, and then right side comes way around in this first step in the catch. As the ball reaches about this point right here, all right, so just as it's approaching the right, what would be the right sector line, you can see there's a little mark right there on the ground behind the net. That's when you want to think about putting your right foot down, which might totally change your throw, and in a good way. Another thing you can think about is as the ball approaches its high point, which is right about here in this first turn, you drive that right hip towards it, almost like a knee drive sort of towards the ball, and then you put your right foot down as fast as you can, once again, kind of in the line of this, thinking about in the line of this right sector line, and then you'll step forward, and your foot will come down probably right about there as opposed to there. So people want to think there's some big separation between yourself and the hammer in the first turn or the second turn or each turn, when in reality, you're almost with the hammer the entire time. You're never really ahead of it, and there's no separation, or there really shouldn't be much separation between the upper and lower body, in my opinion. And I think so people try to step around, kind of like you would in shot put or discus, to get that separation and feel the tension, when in reality that's kind of the wrong thing to do. You want to step forward and feel the ball pull you to 180. So this first thing, yeah, you can still see arms are tight, but since you do catch late, that causes a lot of problems. And you got to try to catch up with the ball by pulling the left side more, and honestly, this is a little bit better patience, I think, than the entry, just a little bit. But you can still see that left side going. You can see you have a decent amount of weight on your left side. Your shoulder, hip, knee, everything's in line. But then you can kind of see there's still that little shift back in the hips. But you can see this tension through the arms, man. That's the biggest thing right now. If you can just learn how to relax your arms, that's going to be, I think you said your PR was 51.30 or something like that. You learn how to relax your arms, that's going to be easy 3 or 4 meters. No doubt about it. Unfortunately, it's a hard habit to break. But very good bent left leg right here. This is good. Your right side's working sort of into the left side. Much better connection here in terms of lower body, but you can still see there's a lot of tension in the upper arms, so that's kind of makes that hard to feel. And you're doing what you can after catching so late on the first turn. Left side leading a lot, right side. So this is when you want to almost think about pushing your hands forward towards the sector, reaching towards the sector with what would be your serratus anterior, a very small muscle under the armpit, or even pushing your shoulders forward towards the sector, pushing your hands forward towards the sector, whatever it needs to be to feel that pulse and to feel that rhythm of the ball coming around you and pulling you forward each turn. And then honestly, this is like a pretty solid catch in terms of ball position. The ball is just beyond 180, and your right foot is down. Maybe it's because, let's see. Honestly, no, that's just really good. You see there's a little shift in this left foot, just barely as you come through. And that's, once again, a product of the left side pulling, which means you have a little bit more weight on the right side in the catch, which you can kind of see. That left foot comes off the ground just like maybe an inch, if that. I don't know, it's very tiny movement, but it's still there. But yeah, this catch is good, but here, this position, hips, back behind the shoulders, you're kind of bent over like you're doing a back squat sort of position. When hammer is more of a front squat position, you want your hips more or less directly underneath your shoulders. Once again, you don't want that separation between the left and the right sides of the body, or the upper and the lower, that much, really. And this is a big problem for a lot of people, is their hips are back and their shoulders are forward. But I think a side effect of you catching so early, because you don't quite know how to work the ball and let the ball pass and stay long and relaxed, you come off this turn really early. Your right foot comes off the ground literally just as the ball's after zero. When in reality, the best hammer throwers probably catch about where you did, but then they work the ball all the way past 90 degrees over here. So your double support in the second turn is a little short. Once again, byproduct of you tightening up through the arms. Once again, relax. It's the biggest thing. And then as you come around, you can see, once again, what happened in the second turn with that little bit of left side coming off the ground is going to happen worse here. And once again, that's a byproduct of that left side pulling, so your weight gets shifted over to this side of the circle. And then since you don't have any weight on that left side, that left foot's going to come off the ground and you jump, which is crazy. If I ever feel myself jumping a throw, I automatically dump it because I just know it's not going to be good. But yeah, so you jump and hips are back, shoulders are forward, but you do use what power you do have. And you can see, you actually, like this right leg coming through on the finish is what you need in each turn, with this right side turns into the left. But you can see you do stand up on this left side as the ball's approaching zero. And then you just kind of rip your arms flat out across in the finish. Once again, a byproduct of very tight arms, I think. And then, yeah. So, overall, biggest thing, Mario, relax your arms, let the ball pass much more in the entry, and then that's probably the number one place to start. The rest of the stuff is kind of secondary to that. The better you set up the entry and the winds, and the more you relax, the easier it's going to be to catch early. The more you can stay relaxed, the more you're going to let the ball pass in each turn, the more ball velocity you're going to have, and everything's going to get much, much easier. Sometimes you just got to take a step back, though. It's hard for people to do that, to take a step back and learn how to relax and throw easy. But once you can do that, it completely changes the way you throw hammer, because, like I said earlier, the more you can relax, the more you can let the ball do the work, and then that's how you're really going to get efficient and learn how to throw far. So, all right, thanks for tuning in. Sean Don, peace out. If you want a technical analysis of your own, hit me up on my website, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Until next time.